Yo, so the co-main event of the evening, right? This was an intriguing one. We had Reinier, right? Third fight in the UFC. Beat Jared Marshall, beat Kevin Holland. And now he was going up against Bo Nickal. Undefeated Bo Nickal, who, hasn't really had a lot of fights, right? This was the big thing. It's just like he's a prospect. Bo Nickal is good. A collegiate wrestling champion, right? 29 years old. But only this would be his 8th pro fight. Right? His 8th pro fight, which is kind of nutty. Kind of nutty, especially when you consider RDR was 19-2 coming into this. You know what I mean? There's a big difference there, right? There is a big old difference, which was the thing that I was so surprised, right? With everyone going, this is a easy fight for Nickal. Because you're going up against a seasoned vet, right? Being champion in other organizations. He was double champion in one, right? I believe middleweight and light heavyweight champion for a moment in time. So this is a guy, and he's big, right? I mean, I think when you saw him against Kevin Holland, who's that tweener, welterweight, middleweight, you saw how big Dorita was. Even in this fight against Nickal, he was considerably bigger, which I'm just like, oh shit, right? So we see that. And it was just like, how will this go, right? Because Bo, great wrestler, still developing that striking. Right? Dorita, great jiu-jitsu practitioner. He's striking. I don't know if we can say Dorita's still developing his striking this far into the game. It's unorthodox. It looks clunky as fuck. But it works for him. You know what I mean? So you can't really say that's wrong, son, because it's just that's what he's been doing. That won him 2 titles. You know what I mean? So that was a big thing with this fight. And I think early on we saw, I think Bo's trying to develop that striking, right? So I think sometimes you get lost in the whole thing of, well, obviously he's going to take him down. No, I'm not. I can strike with this person. And he's, getting drawn into the fight Dorita wants. Because there was a lot of clinch work. Right? A lot of clinch work. Dorita looking for the takedown himself. Now, Bo was able to stuff all attempts, but, right? He stuffed an attempt and he had Dorita's neck, kind of. So he then jumped to a ghillie. And, man, I feel there's only certain people that should be jumping to guillotines. Right, you need to have worked that guillotine thousands of times in training. And you've got to the point that essentially every time you try it, you get it. Because if you aren't as versed in it, they're going to pop their head out. Now they're on top, you're on bottom, and you put yourself in that scenario. Now, if you've got great get up, then maybe you don't care. Maybe you don't worry, because it's just like, I'll just stand up. You ain't stopping me, right? But Bo Nickal ain't there, right? He ain't there yet. So he ended up on bottom for the rest of that round, you know? And it's just like, you didn't need to be in that position. Actually, I think he got up at the very end, but, didn't need to be in that position. And that essentially loses you the round. So we go into the second round, and the Ritter is still applying that pressure. Now, in the first round, they both landed some shots, right? We'd seen some decent head movement from Nickal. But it's just like, this isn't the ideal way to win this fight. And in the second round, we went back to a lot of that clinch work. And the Ritter, one thing he had done a little bit in the first round was throw knees. Now, he tried to catch Nickal in the face a couple of times, just missed, right? But in the second round, he was attacking the body with those knees. Oh my gosh, attacking the body. And we then hit a point, probably about halfway through, and he landed a knee. And like, the angle was hard, right? But you noticeably saw Nickal's body language change, right? He was kind of backing up to the side. He wasn't throwing anything, wasn't doing anything to stop himself from getting backed up. It was very off. But then he threw a couple of punches, threw a 1-2. I think he landed one of those shots, right? But the Ritter then hit another knee. Hit another knee to the stomach, and another knee that just missed the head, right? Then he hit another, and the first knee in that combo, you could see definitely hurt Bo again. And then he hit another knee, and Bo just crumbled. He went down. And, it is, obviously he hit that spot, right? That motherfucking floating rib, or the liver, and Nickal goes down. I think the Ritter, and props to the Ritter, right? Because he threw one small shot and was going to throw another, and he stopped when he saw the referee coming in. There's some people that would have just still carried on hitting, but the Ritter knew it was done, And yeah, he finishes Bo Nickal. He snaps his unbeaten streak. And it was, the Ritter had a very good game plan. That was a big thing here. Very good game plan. And what is crazy is you're seeing a lot of talk of Bo Nickal being overrated. Bo Nickal being a wash-up. People, this was his 8th fight. Right? And, obviously it was just over 2.5 rounds. No, over 1.5 rounds, right? Ended in round 2. But Bo didn't look terrible in there. I think this is actually a good thing for him, because it will go, fight where you're strongest right now. Obviously everyone thinks you're a wrestler, so they, and you want to show them that you can strike and you can do these other things, but play to your strengths. Don't listen to all the bullshit, because they ain't paying you, right? They ain't helping your career progress. So do the things that will help you. That's what Bo needs right now. Do those things that help you. Work on, obviously he needs to practice his striking more, because, before this fight, there was a lot of talk about him against Kamzat, right? Now, if you can't implement a strong jab, you need something to keep certain people at bay, especially those marauders that just keep coming, right? Just keep coming. Now, you need a good jab, good kick, right? So he needs to develop those things, right? For that upper echelon in the division, right? So I think this fight lets him know that, right? Lets him know there's things I need to really work hard on. I probably wouldn't take another fight until like September, October, like maybe Madison Square Garden, come back. You know what I mean? Like, use the time to really practice and strengthen. Now, as I say, good win for Dorita. I don't know how far Dorita can go because, the style is herky-jerky. And you think, he is hittable. So you think someone with those heavy hands could do something to him. But it'll be interesting. It's interesting. And that means, hey, good fights are abound, man. Good fights are abound. So let's see where this goes. And now we got the main event.